Hello, viewers, and welcome to another edition of Life Balance with Dr. Chinwe Ikpe. And with me again, it's Nena Ugochukwu. Nena, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chinwe. Thank you for having me again. It's always a pleasure to be on this show.
Yeah, and today we're going to be discussing something quite amazing, because it's still the beginning of the year, so you still
So we
need
still have time to
to
put things in check.
you put things in check. So we're going to be discussing strangers. Who is a stranger? How to relate with them, and
What to look out for
what to
when you
look out
meet a
for,
stranger,
because a lot of things are going on these days. People
es-
just appear from nowhere and
especially on social
on
media.
social media. Yes. So we said to ourselves, I think we need to talk about this extensively about
Mhm.
scamming here and there and all of that. Okay, but that doesn't mean that all strangers are scammers
Oh no,
anyway.
that's not what it means. So that's why we're going to talk about how to behave with strangers, red flags to look out for,
Hmm.
and all that. Because really, people who are even known to you can be scammers as well.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. And so Nina, in your own time, who is a stranger?
Hmm. A stranger is somebody that you have never met before,
Okay.
somebody you're not familiar with,
Mm.
somebody who is new in an environment or in an area or in a community,
Mm.
somebody who also um, doesn't know you,
Mm.
like somebody you've just encountered. Let me put it that way
Mm.
in brief summary. And at this point, I would also want to mention that a stranger could also be somebody you may have known a long time ago, maybe like an old schoolmate,
Mm-hmm.
primary schoolmate, secondary schoolmate, and then you meet again maybe after 10 to 15 years.
Mm.
That person, from my experience, that person should actually be treated as a stranger
Okay.
until you get comfortable.
Mm. Okay. I think that's very key to say, really, that some people that you know in the past may come, appear because they now have a different character that you're
Yeah,
not
they
used
have
to.
evolved. People
Yeah,
evolve.
evolve and all of those things. So it
Um,
could be positive character, it
it
could be
could be
negative.
negative.
So you
Yeah,
need to
you
watch
need
it.
to watch
You need
before
to watch.
you
Mm.
embrace them fully again.
Mm,
Yeah.
Okay, and that reminds me, a couple of some days back, I ran into somebody, an old friend of mine, and I still thought it was the same person I was relating
Mm-hmm.
with. But the conversation, what I saw, it took me aback. I was like, wow. So if I wasn't alert, I would just imagine it's the same person. It's a continuation of who he used to be so many
Mm.
years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But he's taking a different path entirely. So we
Yeah.
really need to be careful,
We
even
need to
those
be
that we know before. But as long
mm-hmm.
as we have not seen them in
in
recent
a
time,
yeah.
in very long time, we still need to treat them as strangers.
Exactly. I have my own experience,
Mm.
and it took its toll on me because I was actually scammed.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. So I hadn't seen this person in say 15 years,
Mm-hmm.
and within 3 months of meeting and trying to, in fact, I just embraced it like it was like old times,
Mm.
not knowing that there was an ulterior motive, and
Yeah.
I literally parted with my life savings. So,
Wow.
but that's story for another day.
That's anyway, you've some of those things we learn from our
We learn from
experiences too. So
experience.
that would
So
have taught you some
of
lessons. So
course, so
you're
when I
talking from the point
of
of experience
experience,
now when you're talking
yeah,
about relating with strangers. Okay.
exactly,
I'm sure so
exactly,
many of us out there also have our own fair share about dealing with strangers.
yeah.
Okay. But the truth is that strangers can also be amazing.
Oh,
You can meet
surely you
strangers that
can
are
meet
very
exactly.
amazing.
You can meet someone for the first time, and
Mm.
the person
Mm.
has a great impact in your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because one you meet somebody,
So,
one day begins a story.
oh
So
God, definitely.
yeah,
So
so
what we're going to be talking about today is really how to relate
with stranger.
with strangers, but particularly our interest today is um how to protect ourselves
Exactly.
from strangers.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm. Okay, so yeah, we're talking about two strangers, and of course, like we said, strangers can be amazing. Okay, and but that's not to say that you should just embrace everything in totality
Mm-hmm.
because you're a stranger. You have to be nice, you have to be courteous, and all of that. So there are different ways. I mean, there are particular ways you should relate with strangers, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Okay.
Exactly.
So Nina, tell us, how best do you relate with strangers?
Okay, I'll start by saying that because they are strangers, their status is not known.
Mm-hmm.
I think our first, the first thing we should try to do is to assume or perceive that person as a threat before their character and probably their identity is ascertained. So when you meet someone for the first time, don't assume the best of that person.
Okay. Well, I would rather say that we should be cautious instead of say as a threat.
No, no, no.
Threat makes it look as if there's something.
No.
They're gonna
being
come.
cautious.
Okay.
Really has nothing to do with what you have on the inside of you. So what I'm saying is protect yourself first.
Okay.
Inside of it, not the way you relate with the person. The person doesn't need to know that you perceive him or her as a threat.
Okay.
But it's a form of protecting yourself, so you're on alert. You don't know what the person is coming with. But that doesn't mean you wouldn't be cautious, because as a human being, for me, as a rule, with human beings, good or bad, respect, being cautious is key.
Okay.
So you treat them nicely, be cautious, smile at them.
Yeah.
But inside of you, you know that this person.
When you're saying that means I smile at them outside, but inside of me,
inside of me, yes,
that's a double standard.
It's not no.
If I'm smiling at you at the same time, inside of me, I'm like, I'm not really smiling. Is that what you mean?
Yes, literally.
Oh.
Literally.
Okay. So that's being diplomatic.
Inside of me, that's it. Yes, inside of me, I'm on the alert. I don't know where you're coming from. But what you're saying is that I'm cautious, I'm respectful, I am not I'm not rude, But right inside of me, I'm not rude. The only thing I have inside of me that I am conscious of the fact that you might just be a threat.
Okay.
Or you might just you might be a threat, yes. So, but that doesn't affect how I relate to you.
Okay.
Even with people that you know, it's not everything inside of you that they get to know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So we, I think we also need to be, like you said, very polite.
Polite. And then, of course, if you feel the need to strike a conversation with somebody, if you meet a stranger that you think you might want to get to know, because we don't wish away every stranger.
Yeah.
But there's some people that you meet and outrightly, if it's a gut feeling that you should make your way out, by all means do.
So that means you have to assess the situation.
Watch body language.
Yeah, watch body language. Yeah, because that's a lot of us are really careless with body language. They speak volume.
They speak. It speaks
so if
louder
you're
than words.
Yeah. So you're just gonna be intentional when you meet a stranger. You have to be intentional to understand what this person is coming for. Okay, if it's very fast at trying to know so much about you, trying to
those are the red flags. We have
privacy and all of those things. So, in relating with strangers, one needs to be I need to set boundaries. Okay, it's not when you just see a stranger, you start talking so many things that you're not supposed to talk about your personal life. There should be limits to what you say. You don't just keep pouring and pouring out everything. You have no secrets. You don't know who the stranger is. You're telling all your life story in just few minutes. Because I see people do that a lot.
Yeah, people do that a lot.
Just pour out their life story. They don't even know who you are.
The truth is that people are going through stuff.
But then
people feel comfortable sometimes pouring out to a total stranger. Like things you would ordinarily. It is risky, but things. Okay, let's say you and Chinwe are friends, and I have some things that are going on in my life, and I really don't want you to know. Maybe embarrassing. Maybe not something I really want out there, So and then you need to unburden. So when you meet with a stranger, sometimes chances are that you may. It's something that happens, but it's not regular. I've had people meet me and then just begin to tell me their life story, maybe the relationship issues, and they begin to just.
But I think that maybe they somehow somebody may know you, but you don't know the person. So to you, that person is a stranger, but to him or her, you are not a stranger to him because
I'm actually talking about. I'm actually talking about total strangers.
Oh, okay.
Like you've never met. You're just meeting for the first time.
Oh yes, I see that online too.
It
people
happens,
want to unburden their hearts to a stranger. Okay, that's true. But I think it's really not.
It's not advisable. Not something that you want to do because
you don't know
just because you don't know who the person is. You don't know what the person can do with that information.
Exactly.
Yeah. So maybe you might try. You think you're coding your life. You don't want people who know you to know what's going on in your life, and then you pour out to a stranger, and the person takes advantage of it, and you become a victim. You become a victim.
So you need to be careful about it.
So in relating with strangers, it's better to stick with the basic conversations, ask basic generic questions, find common grounds, things that you think might be of interest. You put interest, common interest, talk about those things before you get so comfortable and then
you need to like censor some things.
Yeah, definitely. You don't give out house information. Sometimes you may not necessarily even have to you might talk about what you do, but not you still find a way to code
some of those things because a stranger is a stranger. You really can't tell.
And like I said earlier, you in your mind treat a stranger like a threat before you get comfortable. And in conversations with a stranger, you should also know when to exit. Don't just go on and relax.
Set boundaries.
Yes, when to exit before, and then sometimes also before the conversation gets awkward. This is somebody you do not know, so you may just be talking, and next thing you realize, the person may be become quiet. Listening actively. You don't know what the person has up their sleeves, so when to actually exit a conversation with a stranger.
And when you're communicating with a stranger, you need to be very clear. It has to be simple and straightforward. Okay, so you're not misinterpreted. I mean, the stranger does not misinterpret you. Yeah, so you just have to be clear in what you're saying. And keep that simple as possible. Okay, until you get closer to the person, then you can, bring in all other things. But for now, that's why it's called a stranger.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that is very key to us to also know. And it all depends on the environment you're meeting a stranger. How you relate also depends. Is it a social environment?
Is it an official one?
Yeah, it's a professional official one. Okay, so you know what to say, what to do, how to greet with a handshake, firm handshake if it's a professional meeting.
I'm always when I meet people for the first time, sometimes I'm confused about how to greet the person. Should I extend the hand? Should I bring out my hand first? Should I go for a hug?
But if it's an office meeting, if it's a professional meeting, I think a handshake is more appropriate. If it's an official
meeting,
but if it's a social one,
so sometimes I'm stuck with, am I the one who's supposed to bring up my hand first? So I battle with that a lot. And so there was this experience that I had. I was meeting someone. We had spoken on the phone a couple of times. We actually we were handling a project together. We hadn't met, but we had spoken a few times on the phone. And then we were meeting for the first time. So when we met, it was later he told me, when we got a bit more comfortable, he now told me that I was a bit snobbish. And I'm like, how? He said that he brought out his hand to hug me, and I gave him a handshake.
So you should have watched also what he was bringing out.
He was
then you should go for a hug.
I didn't realize it. To be honest, I didn't realize. I told him, honestly, I didn't realize that.
Oh, okay.
So I apologize, but so we really have to be a bit, we need to know, how to, or who, I don't know.
Yeah, but so for me, I think there's a social gathering, there's a professional gathering, and so it depends on the
but what if I'm talking about a one-on-one?
Yeah, a one-on-one.
A one-on-one meeting.
Oh, okay. So that's, for me, that's more like a social thing, isn't it?
Maybe. It could be social, it could be an official one-on-one meeting.
Oh, okay. So if it's official one-on-one meeting, so we talk like business and all of that, professionalism comes in and all of that. So you ask the right questions to be sure the person understands you very well, because the professional meeting and all of that. Yes, I think that's so. And you just assess the situation. That will guide you. If you're able to assess the situation, you'll be able to know what next to do and how to behave to the person. Yes. Welcome back to our discussion on strangers. Yeah, we've talked about extensively about who a stranger is, how to relate with strangers, be nice to them, be polite, be cautious, and all of that. But the main storyline today is red flags.
Yeah, red flags when you meet a
When you
stranger.
meet a stranger,
That is actually what inspired
this
this
discussion.
discussion.
Yes,
You know,
let's
because
talk about it. Red flags. There are lots of things that you're seeing the sign, but you're not taking cognizance of them. You're just thinking, oh, it doesn't
it
matter.
doesn't
It
matter. It
matters.
really matters.
So let's talk about the red flags when you meet a stranger.
Yeah.
Because it's becoming a repeated thing. People are getting
People are getting scammed,
scam,
even
heartbroken,
killed.
killed.
Yeah.
A lot of things happen.
Yeah.
And it's most times it's from strangers.
Yeah.
That's not to say that people do not hurt you, but most times strangers.
I beg to differ. There's an adage in pidgin that says, "Who know man, I ain't the kill man." A lot of people that know because they know where to get.
Who know man, I ain't they do it.
I ain't the kill man.
That sounds good. Yes, you're right.
Yes. So, but then again, when something happens to you and it is somebody known to you, people don't really blame you because it's somebody known to you, so you relax in the person's company.
Yeah.
But when it's a total stranger, people are going to say, "But this is a stranger."
Yeah.
So that's why we want to talk about red flags when you meet a stranger. Yeah. So at least we should also protect ourselves the best way in any way that we can. With people like for instance, with Chinwe, I would never expect that Chinwe would cause me any harm.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
If she does, there will be people who would sympathize with me.
Yeah.
Because it's Chinwe now.
Yeah, exactly.
But if it's a total stranger, they'll be like, "Ah, but you, Seth, how did you get that involved with a total? This person is a total stranger." So we want to talk about the red flags to look out for when you meet a stranger. Yeah. I think Dr. Chinwe, I think you should go first.
Yeah. So for me, when you see a stranger who is, some of them they come with this they're so forward. Okay, they want to know everything about you. They're
asking many personal questions.
Many personal questions. Some go to the extent of asking about your financial status. They want to know who around you,
details of what you
do, and all of that. That's a red flag because you can't just meet somebody and you want to know every.
So pushy.
So pushy.
Yeah.
You're so forward. You're so just. They're like closing up on you. They're not giving you space. They're not giving you space.
But on the other hand. Yeah. Somebody who is quick to share their own personal information as well, who is wanting to unburden, who wants to tell you everything about themselves, I think is a red flag as well.
It's also a very big red flag.
Yeah, because it appears to me, and then the things they are telling you about themselves are nice things, what their achievements, what they've done, how they've done, so it's as if they're trying to get you comfortable to think that they are actually responsible people. So that's a
red flag too. Some of them too, they come with this emotional blackmail.
Yeah, emotional, like, pitiful story.
Yes. In fact,
to get
I ran into a lady not too long ago. She talked about how she's been so badly treated, how the whole world is falling on her, how she's don't.
And then she bought your sympathy and your pity.
She bought my sympathy. And I was like, oh, I think I have to stand up for this lady. I have to. She's a woman, women standing up for women. So, so I just carried myself. Madam, enter Wahala where I don't know where it comes from.
I know, right?
I was trying to protect. I was trying
to be supporting woman supporting woman. And women
women
are very good at that. They come with every kind of how their husbands have treated them badly, how their in-laws are this, how this has happened.
Yes, we know those things happen, but for you to meet a stranger and you're saying all that much within a very short time,
it's a red flag. It's a red flag. They want to put you in the corner where you're now in sympathy with them, and so when they begin to ask for unusual favors,
you're helpless.
You're
already
you want because your emotions are already involved, so you really want to help
and all of that.
What about people that are controlling behavior?
That is another one.
They want to tell you what to do. They want to choose. Sometimes you meet people and they want to talk about what you're wearing. Why are you wearing this?
They tell you how to live your life.
They want to tell you how to live your life.
In fact, for them, they have the
manual,
the
blueprint to life.
Yes, to life.
Yeah,
and then I'm wondering, how come you are not even that successful?
Exactly.
If you knew all of this,
why are you still where you are?
Why are you still where you are?
Yeah.
I should have been hearing about you that you're this, you're that, but
And then some of those people, you're talking about the lady who had plenty pitiful stories.
Pitiful stories.
If you were intentional and asked her questions, you probably would have picked up that some of her stories will be inconsistent.
So I did ask some questions, In fact, it was also a concern from me. So in the back of my heart, I knew that there's something that is not adding up. Why is you're just meeting me for the first time?
Why
and you're
so
saying we're connecting? Okay, you're connecting with me, but I'm not connecting. So there's something about that. You're telling me every. So I was also already watching out. Okay, in as much as she still got me, but I was yes. Maybe she would have gotten me more than that. Anyway.
That, yes, most likely.
And I found out that she was always any other person she was talking to. It was always from the point of how she's suffering.
She's suffering the most.
The story was I became very uncomfortable.
It was too much. How can one person be suffering all these things?
And then, so what is your, and it's not that person. That's why for me, I usually don't listen to one-sided stories.
Okay? Yeah.
Because this
there must be, there's always another side.
Yes, because I can't come and say, I'm so bad. I always present myself as a good one.
Of course, because
it's a story.
There is your story.
It's my story.
There's the other person's story. And then there's the real story. The truth.
So, the true story, the truth. It's just like what we see online, people have their banters behind closed doors and they come online and
show us something else.
Show us something else, So we need to really.
Yeah. And then if another red flag to look out for is someone who avoids answering direct questions about themselves. Like, what do you do for a living? And the person tells you 4, 5, 6, plenty things that they do without saying any. You understand? I remember that a friend of mine, 2 friends of mine, met for the first time, and they got talking. So after they finished talking and I came back on the scene because I was at work and they were just in my office. One of my friends came and said to me, "This is your friend. What exactly does she really do?" In a space of how many minutes that we've talked, she has told me countless things that she does. And to be honest, I don't think she does any. I just
but some people are like that. Someone can do so many things. It doesn't mean it's wrong all the time.
I laughed, and that my laughter is because she was right in her judgment, in her assessment. She was right in her assessment. The other party didn't quite have anything she could hold on to and say, "This is what I'm doing." But she had very lofty ideas. She had it all together, and then she was even available to give you counsel. So
okay. So another one again that's that we need to really watch out for. Okay, is when people strangers try to isolate you. They ensure that you're not talking to another person. Okay, they're telling stuff and they're making it look as if this is just the best idea, but nobody must hear about it.
Nobody must hear about it.
You must not share it. That is, okay, they try to isolate you. They make sure you don't take that discussion to another person to see the other side of it.
Yeah.
So that is a very big red flag. A lot of people, they'll tell you. In fact, I had somebody called me sometime. He wanted to give me a job and all of those things. He said, "Where are you?" I said, I'm with my friends." He said, "Step out of there, stay somewhere so that we can just talk alone and all of that." But what's wrong with talking exactly? You want to give me a job and my friends
cannot know about it, then what kind of job is that?
I tell you. So that's the red flag.
And then they lack respect for boundaries.
Oh no, they will never.
They lack respect for, yes,
they will never respect your boundaries.
They want to come, and then some of them, they want to get so personal. You're just meeting for the first time, and you want to get really personal, and all of that. So. And then even sometimes when you try to show them that this is your boundary, they
don't respect it. Okay. So let's talk also about the online strangers. We'll be talking about both of them together, but let's be specific now about the online strangers.
Yeah.
Okay. You see people who go on dating apps, people who just call you randomly.
I'll send you an inbox, a DM, they call it.
DM and all of those
and things. Then before you know it, they're telling you there's one particular trend on Facebook where the guys, they will just come to your inbox and they tell you their wife died, they have a little daughter, their mom. The next thing
are you sure it's not the same person that's talking to all of us?
He's the same person most likely, and come in different names.
Yeah.
If you go on their page, you see real fine dude picture and all of that, and then next thing their mother is sick and needs bailout and all of that.
In fact, just last week, okay, somebody just started chatting with me. Exactly the same story.
Yeah.
The wife is dead.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Daughter, yes, I don't know why he's not tired of that scam yet.
and
maybe people are still falling for it because it's been going on for years.
Yeah, people still
Yeah.
fall for all of these things. That's why you see them still doing it and over again. They need you to quickly send urgent money to their mother who is so old.
Yeah, there's another one also that is going on where you start talking with the person online, and the next they promise they will send you iPhone, iPad, and all of that, and then they send you a way bill number, and then somebody in Nigeria calls you and tells you that your parcel has arrived at Abuja, but it looks like you're in Lagos, so we need you to give us some money so we can send, So, and people keep falling for these things on a daily.
I don't get
it. And when I meet with them, I'm asking you. You meet a total stranger online. What did you do to the person or for the person? For the person to want to send you iPad and iPhone.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it, sir. Think about it, really.
They give you some very juicy offer. You're not thinking to yourself, what effort have I done to deserve this?
Exactly.
Okay?
What's going on here? And my dad always said something to me that when somebody starts to give you gifts for no reason, the reason is coming.
The reason is
the reason is coming.
Exactly. So if you're not careful,
yes,
it will hit you in a way that you'll be shocked. I tell you seriously.
Okay, and so
there's another thing I also want to talk about on this online thing. This one that you say they send you code. We'll have a meeting. Somebody just
that one is just a hack. I mean, it's that they take advantage of groups when they are able to hack a group. And then they begin to tell you, we are in Unical Alumni Association. We have a meeting at so and so time. But sometimes I'm curious to know what exactly is their game plan.
No, but the game plan is that they take advantage of the fact that you're believing them, and they say send me this code. So when you send the code to them, they just take over your accounts. And when they take over your accounts, immediately in the next 5 minutes they'll send message to all your contacts asking for money, asking for distress call. They will say that you're in the hospital, they need to help you out, and all of those things. It goes on and on and on. So what exactly do we do with this red flag, Nina?
Well, the first thing is to trust your guts. If something feels off, then chances are that it is really there's something wrong. So trust your guts and then begin to plan your exit.
Take off. Exactly. Just in fact, cut the conversation.
Where you are. One thing, we could cut the conversation and then make your exit, make excuses and leave, or you change.
Sometimes I don't even. When I just see that this is just bad enough, there's no need of just try to make an excuse. I just said, sorry. In fact, I told somebody directly some time ago. I said, I'm surprised you're one of them. It was like, one of them was. I said,
but you also need to be careful what you say to them because you don't know how dangerous they might be. The way you talk to them and then you now become a target.
But sometimes
it's better to just pretend that you're ignorant of what might be going on and just make your exit. I think it's safer to do that.
Okay, I think that's safer, but sometimes I also feel that sometimes we need to tell these people that we know what they're doing so they can stop. It's as if you just exit like that, they go to the next person,
Yeah, but
sometimes I feel I should just let them know that please, can you get something better to do? This is just not nice.
Also be very careful how you do that, especially if it's a one-on-one, somebody who knows you, who has met you, who can identify you. Maybe online you can tell people off.
That was online as a matter
of fact. Online, yes, you can tell people off easily, but when it's a face-to-face contact, you actually need to be careful how you relate.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so for me, it's better to just pretend, become deaf and dumb, and then make excuses and then find your way. And then tell somebody.
Tell somebody.
So that even if you're about falling for that, you have told somebody, so the person is kind of watching out for you to see what moves you're going to make next.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so thank you so much, Nina. It's been amazing time with you. I think strangers are nice people. They're amazing people. They're good people.
They could be a threat.
But you should always be very cautious. While you welcome them with open hands and all of that, you still have to protect yourself. Thank you for joining us today. Nina, what do you say to our audience? What's your last?
First of all, I'll say thank you for having me again. It's always a pleasure. And to our viewers, thank you for staying tuned. We'll be with you in the near future.